Welcome back, folks. How's everybody doing? This is part 2 of the Jaguar X Type Sill repair. There's somebody loitering on my drive. As you will probably know from the last other video that Ricky put out, I did some welding on the Kia, on the exhaust. What he's talking about, and the exhaust. So that's all done and dusted, and while I'm in the mood, it's -5 something degrees. I'm going to carry on, and when he pisses off home, I'm going to carry on and do some welding on the Jag. So let's have a look, see where we got up to. As you can see, the boss of the channel is loitering around.
Hello.
Doing some stuff. We've been welding up the Kia. We had a little bit of trouble getting into the ambo this morning. We had to use a hairdryer to unfreeze all the locks. Because it's seen that. Yeah, they'll have seen that, and it's still rather frosty. So we got a frosty, mucky X Type and a lot of stuff. Because if you'd have seen from part 1, it was getting dark when I'd finished. So today, when he buggers off home, obviously I've got all these to weld in between, and a few more plug welds to do underneath. There's not many, and then I can clean it all up and get some stone chip on there hopefully today if it stays dry, and get this bit finished off at some point. I'm still waiting for my clips for the Sill covers to come back, but that could be for a part 3 video, who knows. So while we're at it, what are you doing?
I don't know, really.
It's cold. It's going to be one of them days, isn't it?
I'm going in a minute.
Right, so just for an update, look at that. His exhaust is still on. My welding is pretty good, apparently. Right, we got a delivery. Hi.
Right, I'm going to go.
It's going. Thanks for your help.
That's all right. What, did you want me to do anything?
No.
All I seem to be doing is hindering you with far too much chatting going on, isn't there?
Isn't it fun though?
He started this job at 10 o'clock this morning. It's 1:45 and he ain't done it yet.
Well, it still starts.
It starts. It's only done 155,000 miles.
Is that all? Wow. The Venga bus. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Look at all that Korean power.
South Korean.
South Korean power. Marvellous.
Right, thanks, mate.
You're very welcome.
See you later.
Drive carefully. See you soon. And off he goes. Bye. So there goes the Venga. Hope that exhaust holds. Right. Oh, I've got welding to do. Right. Let's crack on. Okay, with the miracle of time. Right, as you can see there, all those little spot welds under there, and underside there, them are all done. So I'm just going to get my grinder out now, tidy all them up, and just carry on doing any more plugs if I put holes through them. So yeah, it's cold, but we're getting there slowly but surely. So that now that that's in place, I can actually tidy those up, and then inside, then I'll be joining all these up. And so basically what I'll be doing with these is basically do a spot there, a spot there, a spot there, a spot there, and it'll just be a series of spots till we've got a nice full run. Yeah, I could do a complete run in one go, but I don't really want to get the metal too hot all in one go, because that's when it all starts to deform and pull in different directions where I don't want it to. So it is just a case of blubber weld, blubber weld, blubber weld, blubber weld, and that keeps the temperature of the rest of the metal down so it all doesn't get too hot. It's going to be a long, slow process, but you know, I've got time and there's no rush to get this done at the end of the day. So I'm about to get my grinder out now and start tidying the underneath up there. And basically I want to just try and do things as I go along now, because it is cold, and believe it or not, the water that's thawing out on the car is actually freezing up again there. It's not the cars are just not thawing out at all. So it is cold, but this progress needs to be done. So let's crack on and do some more. So with the miracle of time, my spot welds, plug welds, all the way along there, I'm quite satisfied. Those have been linished back a little bit, so they're not too proud. I don't really have to worry about making things too tidy. As long as it's all secure for the MOT, I think we'll be pretty good. So I'm kind of done underneath and on my back. All those underneath there are nicely smooth. So right, it's time to have the doors open. It's a little bit stuck, and now I can finish off my welds along here. It's going to be a little bit tricky underneath this corner of the door, but I'm sure we'll manage it. We can we'll be okay. Let's do some more sparky stuff then, and as things progress I will show you where we're getting along. Obviously I need to tack in the sill up here and round there just to make sure that it's all nice and solid there and sealed at least. But there will be a big nice thick coat of stone chip going on there before it's and then we'll paint it up and get the cover on. Whether that happens today, I don't know, because it is really cold and I don't think paint is actually going to set today. Yeah, I think we're still at something -2 at the moment, so it's pretty cold, but the heat from the sparky thing is keeping my hands nice and warm at least. So let's crack on and do some more. So if I just take a minute from actually welding here and show you what I'm doing. So basically I'm coming along from my original spots there, so it's just a spot next to it and a spot along and a spot along, spot along, spot along, spot along, spot along. So basically I come from over here, go over there, come from over here, go over there, and it keeps the temperature of the metal fairly low and fairly even, so it doesn't start to distort and pull on the new sill, and obviously on the original part of the sill as well. So it's a back and forth kind of thing. So I'm basically little spot, and it stops me from burning holes as well, because if you do a continuous run sometimes on thinner metal, such as, you know, especially in the UK where metal is very, very thin on cars, if you get too much heat into the metal, it'll burn a hole in it, and then it creates you all a load of problems starting to fill these holes back up. So if you just do a spot and a spot and a spot, and eventually, as you can see here, they're starting to join up. So if I'll clean this up now, just to show you how things are going to progress as it goes along. You know, this is not a 5-minute job, this is a long-winded job. It's probably the reason why a lot of these X types do get scrapped once the sills have gone. A pair of sills is what, 100 quid? So it's not really that much of an expensive job to do, but to get someone to do this kind of welding and this kind of job, you're probably talking into a few hundred quid just in labour alone, plus you've got materials and things like that. It's probably why, you know, welders are charging nearly £1,000 to do this work, and this is just one side. So I can understand why these Jags do get scrapped quite a lot, and it is a shame because, you know, given the Mondeo in a frock quips that these cars do get, it is a bit of a shame really, for the sake of a couple of sills and, you know, someone knowing what they're doing with them. it's a shame how they get scrapped quite a lot just for this work. It really is, but you know, it's 20 years old, and let's see if we can get another few years out of it at least. So let me clean these up a little bit, and we'll show you how it's going to look. So that's just a couple of minutes there with the grinders. You can see I need to take some more off that one, but that one's nice and smooth. That one's nice and smooth, no sharp edges there. So, and that's what I'll be doing later on, once I've gone along and cleaned all this up. So that's basically how it'll look, and it'll all should look more or less uniform. Again, it doesn't really need to look too pretty as far as I'm concerned, because the sill cover is going to go over that anyway. So I mean, I could spend a lifetime making it look pretty, and for what benefit if it's not going to be seen? I mean, I probably don't need to grind off all the welds if I don't want to and smooth them all out, but I think it's just a case of, yeah, for my own pride, if you like, I will make it look a little bit pretty at least. But yeah, that's how we're progressing, so more work to be done. So as you can see there, that's the sill completely stitched all the way on the top there. Come round to the back here, and that's stitched all the way along. I didn't quite notice, but as you can see here, this was the very last run I done. I actually ran out of gas, but basically all that gas does really is keep the welds nice and clean, but that's no problem. I can clean that up and continue. So I'm just going to change the bottle, and it's only one of the miniature bottles I use on my no gas welder. Basically I prefer to use the gas because the flux cord wire is basically just arc welding really, and it's hopeless. So I've still got just down here just to tack and weld in there, and that's the sill completely welded up. So all I need to do is linish off them welds there and clean everything up, and hopefully I mean, it's -2 now. It just hasn't thawed out all day. I am absolutely froze. Yes, I must be mad. As you can see, the mighty white has now thawed out, but it is a little damp in there. Basically over the last week I have been using the car just for short trips that I needed to do, but you know, the heaters are not the best in these cars, to be honest. So at the moment, while I've got power out here, I've got an oil heater in the back there, just getting it warmed up a little bit and getting the car thawed out somewhat, because this is basically just a build-up of frost, would you believe? It's not actually icy under there, it's just a build-up of frost. So I'm trying, because basically all the locks have frozen up, so I'm trying to get some heat into the car so I can get into it when I need to and lock it when I need to. Keys are still in it. I have had it running today. So anyway, right, enough about the mighty white. So back to the Jag. So I'm going to get my trusty grinder on it now that the battery's charged up on it, and I'm going to tidy up these welds while it's still light and while I'm still got some enthusiasm to keep going. It is cold though. So we're into the Sunday, following on from yesterday. This morning I've been just linishing off the welds there. Again, it doesn't need to look pretty, and as you can see, I've got the sill cover there. It's still bare metal at the moment, but as you can see there, they've linished off the welds, all nice and smoothish. I'm now going to put some stone chip on there, but I am actually going to come up to here with it, at least into here with the stone chip. I'm not worried about that because I've ordered some spray paint anyway, so I can touch all this up, rub it down. That'll probably get done next week now, because it is Sunday and time's knocking on, and I want to try and finish this off as much as I can. But as you can see, inside the sill cover, a lot of crud gets caught up in there. And basically all this is just clipped on. There's no seal on there, so water runs down, you know, from the door seals, whatever, and runs into the sills through these holes. Obviously that's where the, you know, the trim clips go, but holes like this, there's no, you know, there's no plug for them or anything like that, and that just runs straight into the sill. And if it's not protected, it's going to be a little bit of a bit of a nightmare for rust, as you can see with these expensive Jaguar parts underneath the car. So I think what I'll be doing now, I'm just going to loosely fit this cover just to show you exactly what's going on. And there it is, in place, just clipped in. Obviously there's no clips underneath yet because they've not been delivered yet. If I just open the doors here, there you can see all them welds are nicely covered up. So, you know, there was no real need for me to make it look pretty and smoothed off, but I didn't want any lumpy welds holding this up and deforming it out of place type of thing. So there you go, with the cover on. You wouldn't even know it's been repaired other than these scratches there that I've done. Oh well, that's what happens. So as you can see, water is going to run down here, you know, through window seals, things like that, the door seals, because let's face it, they're not the best, but they are designed to allow water to run down. And there it goes in there. There's no seal, so it will run in there, catch in there, seep down into your sill. Good design, bad design, you know. Yeah, good because it finishes the car off nice. Yeah, it looks great, but what's designed to make it look pretty doesn't exactly protect it. And this is one of the reasons why Jaguars failed the MOT so much, because if it's not evident directly underneath, which is here, if it's not too evident, MOT is going to go, oh yeah, that's all good, but also could be up here that it's absolutely rotten. And these are literally held on by 10-20 clips. You know, people don't remove them, simple as that. People don't pull these covers off. And let me show you, once all them trim clips are off underneath, this thing literally just pulls off, as easy as that. So I'm going to get some stone chip on this now. I'm quite satisfied with that. And obviously bend this tab back up here. And yeah, get stone chip on and then wait for my paint to turn up. I'm probably going to do just under here, obviously. I'll just maybe just spray it gloss black or something like that. And then I'll get some wax oil and get it all injected into there, so at least we can help try and protect and preserve it a little bit more for a few more years. So stay tuned. So we've got a good coat of stone chip on there. Yeah, again, not too worried about it looking pretty. A little bit of overspray there, but you know, it's to be expected, but it's primer based, so it can be painted over anyway. Like I say, I don't need to make it look pretty, because that can all be done once it's painted and the sill cover back on. I mean, like I say, if I was to throw the sill cover back on now, you wouldn't really know. So that's all nicely done there. I'm fairly happy with that. When that's dry, I think I might put a little bit of black on that just to tidy it up, and put basically a gloss coat on that of black, and then basically wait for me green paint to turn up, and I can paint just repaint inside the doors there. Nothing special, nothing I need to worry about too much. Like I say, like you've already seen, it's all hidden anyway with the sill cover, obviously, which I will clean up before I put it back on. So we're getting there. we really are getting there. Cool. And there is the sill trim loosely reattached. I'm waiting for clips, obviously. So that's basically it. That's all I need to do. Well, when the paint comes, obviously, I will pull that sill cover back off and just paint inside the doors, obviously. And what I will be doing is probably applying some sealant, and as earlier described, basically just on run. I might just run a bead on the underside of that, so that it will help keep water out from the sills. And of course apply some wax oil once I'm done with all the paint in there, because I don't want to ruin any paint with wax oil, so I'll wait till that's painted up. If I wanted to, could just leave that as it is. That's just how it goes. But yeah, progress is being made on the Jag. Bless it. And at least it's thawed out now. I'm still cold, but at least it's thawed out and there's no frost anywhere, so that's helped tremendously today. So all that's left for me to do today is basically tidy up. I've got rubbish everywhere. I've got my welder down there still. Oh, there's Mrs. Wynne. And my good old compressor as well. So I think that's it for part 2. Shall I do a part 3, part 4, part 5? Yeah, because let's face it, there's still a bit of painting to do, and then there's still the other side to do, so I might as well document it, get it on the trains every time. So yeah, I might as well document it, get it all on the channel, because at the end of the day, you know, the X Type is still a popular car, and let's face it, there are plenty of them out there, and there is probably a lot of them that need the sills welding. So if this video does help other X Type owners keep their cars on the road, then great, the channel's doing its job, and so am I. And so's Ricky for putting these videos up for me, because I just send these little snippets of video to him and he pieces them all together, bless him. So I would imagine it's quite painstaking for the crap that I do send him, so fair play to Ricky for that one. So that's it from me for part 2. Stay tuned, because part 3, part 4, part 5, however long this takes to get it done and through the MOT, all will be documented. I think it's wise that we do that. And then what have we got in future? Who knows? I mean, yeah, there's probably an outing for me and Ricky at some point in the Mighty White, and Agatha, of course, and Mrs. Wynne. Hopefully, fingers crossed, things go well these next couple of months, where I can spend a little bit more time and get the old girl on the road. And once she's on the road, maybe the Ambassador can come off the road then, and I can finally get round to doing those crank bearings and big ends, because they are beginning to knock a little bit. It's a shame the car's only done 43,000 miles, but that car had been neglected for a long stage in its life earlier on. So it's 40 years old. It's about time they were done. So, and the old girl's still doing well. So yeah, right, stay tuned for more, and definitely see you in another video, and hope you all take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and smack that bell thing to get notifications. Right, see you later. Bye.